Welcome to Ballet Bites. Today we're diving into some science that's shaking up dancer health. 5 burning questions about overuse limits, cross-disciplinary approaches, mind-body connections, sensor tech, and rethinking those relentless rehearsal calendars.
I'm hyped for this. There's so much to unpack. Where should we start?
Let's jump in with the big one. Evidence-based training load limits. The numbers are wild. Did you know that a study from Sports Medicine Open released this July reported that 96% of pros logged at least one injury per season, mostly from overuse? And rehearsals alone accounted for over 40% of those injuries.
Wow, that's intense. So they're basically saying that too much volume, especially in rehearsals, spells trouble for dancers.
Exactly. And the good news is that several biomechanics papers from 2025 are converging on some actionable load ceilings. We're talking about limiting weekly volume increases to around 10% and mandating a 48-hour gap between demi-point and full-point progressions for young dancers. It's like, taking a cautious step before you leap into a high-intensity routine. Labs in Melbourne and Houston are even offering pilot thresholds that coaches can plug straight into systems like Smartabase or Team Builder.
That's really impressive. So, theoretically, if companies adopt these thresholds, it could drastically reduce injuries?
Absolutely. Take Queensland Ballet and Ballet West as examples. They slashed mid-season stress fracture rates in half without even reducing show counts. It's a prime case where data beats long-held folklore about what dancers can handle.
But, isn't there a risk here? I mean, could strict load caps limit creative expression or performance intensity?
That's a great point. I mean, some critics argue that too many restrictions might stifle the art. However, the pilot data suggests that these thresholds help dancers perform longer with fewer injuries. It's like a well-designed training plan that, while structured, still makes room for creativity.
Yeah, got it. So, science is essentially giving dancers more sustainable careers. Moving to the second question. What about cross-disciplinary teams? Are they really changing the game, or is it all just hype?
The evidence shows they're making serious dents. At the Royal Ballet, for instance, a cohort of 123 dancers working with biomechanists, schedulers, and orthopedic fellows saw an 18% drop in acute injury downtime after weekly sit-downs. It's, not just sports medicine chic for the sake of it, it's concrete results.
Interesting. And in places like Cape Town's Joburg Ballet, they're merging choreographers with physiotherapists. That sounds super integrative.
Yes, exactly. They literally adjust port de bras angles in real time based on motion capture feedback, the kind of in-studio tweaks that lead to 30% fewer shoulder impingements. It's an elegant fusion of art and science.
I can see that. However, budgets are always a concern, right? Not every company can fund a full sports science staff.
True, which is why there's growing interest in shared service hubs, one wellness crew rotating among multiple companies. That could democratize access to this kind of cutting-edge health support.
Right? Cool, let's move on to mental health. It's really becoming central to injury prevention these days, isn't it?
Definitely. There was an editorial in the British Journal of Sports Medicine called Brain Body Dance that linked body image anxiety and sleep debt directly to higher sprain odds. And get this, a South African study found that mental fatigue often precedes physical fatigue, with perfectionistic dancers logging over twice the overuse complaints.
That's a game changer. So, if we support mental health better, dancers might physically perform better too.
Exactly. And some companies are already deploying in-house psych consults. Take the San Francisco Ballet, for instance. They've introduced weekly cognitive behavioral sessions, cutting self-reported injury severity by 22%. Plus, wearable sleep rings are now tracking chronic sleep deficits. It turns out dancers average just 5 hours a night during tours.
Wow, that's compelling. It really shows that mental wellness is not just a luxury, but a core part of injury prevention. Now, coming to sensor tech and AI video, what's the current vibe there?
There's a lot of buzz, but also some caution. Real-time wearable sensors are technically ready, as per a Quality and Sport review from March 2025, but cost and privacy issues are still big hurdles. For example, a full-body inertial unit could cost over $100, and data privacy concerns under GDPR are a serious barrier.
Yes, data privacy is a hot topic these days, but aren't there more affordable options emerging?
Definitely. Just last week, a rollout from Meagle offered cloud-based joint angle dashboards for under $50 a month. And with MetaHuman's single-camera mocap, the cost barriers are dropping fast. Early adopters like the Finnish National Ballet saw immediate benefits. AI-flagged asymmetrical landing loads and a few alert pings during rehearsal led to tweaks that prevented repeat ankle issues over the season.
That's really innovative. However, until we have standardized metrics across force plates, inertial, and vision data, insurers might hold back on underwriting these programs.
Exactly. An ISO-style task force might be on the horizon to standardize things. It's a step we really need to see to enable broader adoption.
Now, the final burning question. Can we redesign rehearsal calendars with science-approved recovery windows without crushing artistic expression or blowing the budget?
Good question. Studies, like the one from the Royal Ballet, show that rehearsal hours surge by 60% during premiere months. Researchers modeled a timetable with micro-tapers every 14 days and ensured a full 24-hour rest after double bills. Their simulations predicted a 15% rise in scheduling costs, but a 35% drop in injury costs. In the end, it's a net saving.
So, it's this delicate balance between art and science, sustaining performance quality while keeping injury risks low.
Exactly. Some troupes, like Houston Ballet, are even experimenting with 4-day microcycles. They have 3 high-load days, followed by a recovery day that blends class-only sessions and wellness activities. Early reports indicate that performance hasn't dipped, which means the creative side isn't sacrificed.
It's like the best of both worlds, right? Using data-driven insights to strategically plan rehearsals, and yet keeping the artistic spark alive.
Precisely. And what's fascinating is the approach. Alternate full-cast rehearsals with small group sessions, and even use VR stage previews to cut actual floor time. It's essentially a reimagination of the rehearsal process.
So, to wrap it up, we're looking at 5 major takeaways. Clear load thresholds to prevent overuse injuries, cross-disciplinary integration that's already cutting downtime, embedding mental health as a core asset, adopting wearable tech with an eye on cost and privacy, and finally, smart, data-informed rehearsal timetabling.
Exactly. It's a revolutionary approach to dancer health backed by cutting-edge research, case studies, and real-world implementations from top companies. It's, science meeting art in a truly transformative way.
Yeah, I'm really inspired by these changes. It's encouraging to see how data-driven strategies are set to make dancing safer and more sustainable, without compromising the heart of the art.
Absolutely. And while there are challenges like cost, standardization, and ensuring creativity isn't stifled, these initiatives represent a crucial shift towards longevity and well-being for dancers.
Do you think this kind of innovation could eventually lead to similar breakthroughs in other performance arts?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's like when you blend art with science, the same principles could very well apply in theater, music, or even circus arts. It's all about understanding the human body's limits and creating optimal conditions for peak performance.
It's really fascinating how a few studies and pilot programs can lead to such sweeping changes. There's a lot of potential here beyond just ballet.
For sure. And it emphasizes that the future of performance arts might just be a hybrid world where creative expression meets empirical scientific support. And honestly, that makes it even more exciting as we look ahead.
Well, that's our deep dive into the cutting edge of dancer health. It's amazing to see how science is not only preserving art, but also elevating it.
Exactly. And it's a conversation that will keep evolving as more data comes in. Thanks for joining this discussion, and do drop your thoughts, both cheers and challenges, in the comments.